Hey, what's going on, guys? I got a special thing I want to talk to you guys about today, and it has something to do with a video that was posted on two of my videos on my YouTube page. Uh, the video is about Billy Mitchell. In fact, the video is calling Billy Mitchell a fraud for something he has no power over. So, let me bring some context to this. All right. It's no secret to everybody that Billy Mitchell isn't the only person to have scored a perfect score in Pac-Man. That should be obvious to everybody. What he's being considered to be a fraud of is that Namco, the president of Namco, who awarded Billy Mitchell an award called Gamer of the Century for the previous century or whatever. This happened in 1999, so it was like there's the closing of the century. So they gave him an award called the Gamer of the Century for his perfect Pac-Man score that he achieved live and at some event or place or something like that, in which the news covered it. And it was the first time that I guess it was commercially broadcast that there was a public, like, scoring of a perfect Pac-Man score. Billy Mitchell has also gone on record to say that there's been other people who have done the actual record that have gone on it. But like he said in the very same movie he's being criticized over with the King of Kong, you can go for 59 in your backyard. Anyone can come and give you an award for it. But if you don't do it at the Masters or Augustus or whatever, then it really doesn't count. A lot of people miss the context to that, and they don't take that into consideration. And what he means by that, or what I've interpreted from that, which shouldn't be hard to interpret because the context is right there, is that there are a lot of people who have done things so-called the first. There are a lot of people who set on records that are unknown and whatever. But if you don't do it at the place that matters and that counts, then no one will really know, and it won't really count. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing from Billy Mitchell's statement right there. So the guy brings up in this video, and you in the description you can watch the link. I left the link to the guy's video because clearly he put the video there to, I guess, get views. Okay, fine. This is YouTube. That's the purpose of it. So I'm gonna leave his video in the description. You guys can go there and you can look at his video, and then you'll understand the context behind it of like why I say like there's a lot of people who's just like they're really like twisting things, writing what's the word for this? Clickbait titles so that you can click it, and then when you really look at the context behind it, you're like, well, that's not true, because he's calling Billy Mitchell a fraud because Namco gave him a record. I don't understand this. Like, why would you call him a fraud for something Namco's doing? So this guy's video, right? Midway or Bailey, the guys that made the arcade machines, they sent a letter to some guy and gave him recognition for a perfect Pac-Man game, right? But it doesn't state the score, right? It just gives the record to a guy for a perfect Pac-Man game back in the 1980s or whatever the case may be. Fine, no one's taking that away from the guy. But if this guy had this score, why didn't this guy take the score and go make it public and make a big thing about it? He didn't do that, right? Did he do it live? Was this recorded? Or did he just do it, take a picture of it, and send it to the arcade manufacturers who are not even the creators of the game? They're just the arcade manufacturers, that's it. And say, okay, there it is, I scored the point or whatever. As it says in the actual letter, the guys is like, we don't hold the scores or anything like that. We're not the adjudicators for scores. We'll recognize your score, but we're not adjudicators. And that gets into a whole different topic about what is esports and what's not. There was a lot of video game companies back then, recognizing people's scores, but they're not adjudicators. And if they're not adjudicators, then they really can't create an infrastructure that turns a competitive gaming into a sport. It's just competitive gaming. That's another topic. We'll get into that later. But the guy, this letter was sent out to him. It states he got a perfect score. It doesn't state the score. It just says that he got a perfect score. And like I said, you can check the description for the video and you'll see the context behind it. And then even in that, there was some research saying that there was perhaps someone else who did the score before him. And let's get into that because that's the context behind this. There are a lot of records out there that says this person's the first person, this person's the first person. Then historians or people who aspire to be historians look up and then they find out later on that there was somebody who did it before that person even did it. And that's the real context behind this. Look, there are people who say there's a guy out there who ran faster than Jesse Owens. There's probably some kid here in Jamaica who's ran faster than Usain Bolt. There's probably some guy that scored more points than Wilt Chamberlain in a basketball game when they timed it, and he scored more than 100 or whatever points that Wilt Chamberlain scored. There's probably a lot of people that have done things beyond first or have higher scores beyond a lot of other people long before someone's ever done it. But we will never know if it doesn't come to light commercially. This is why when things are done commercially, that is what's considered to be recognized commercially, because that is when it was recorded history. It was recorded. So if it's not recorded in history, yes, it will be duly noted, but it doesn't count. That's just how it is. And that's where it comes back to the context of what Billy Mitchell said. You can golf a 59 in your backyard, but if you don't do it at Augusta or at the Masters, which is like places like Guinness World Record or certified Twin Galaxies events, then it really doesn't matter. That's just the reality behind it, because anyone can say anything. And if you don't have it at a certified event where it's being captured, or live events where it's being captured with people of authority to take down and record that particular history, then it doesn't count. That's just the reality behind it. So I'm just trying to bring context to it. The guy's video says Billy Mitchell's a fraud. Even if all of the information he has in the video is 100% accurate, and I believe the information in his video is 100% accurate, that's fine and dandy. But he didn't do it live. He didn't get the commercial recognition to validate and the authorities to say this is it. He got a message from, he got a letter from Midway or whatever the case may be. He should have taken that to a newspaper back at the time, and they should and tried to get it printed so that he can be recognized publicly for it, not privately. And that's what happened. And when Billy Mitchell was given this record for Gamer of the Century from Namco, why didn't he contest it at the time so that they can go, whoa, 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 that's not necessarily true? Why didn't historians step up to the plate? No one stepped up to the plate. So in my opinion, this is just a hit piece. Billy Mitchell didn't write the award for himself. Namco did. Namco gave him the record. Namco recognized him. Namco created the game. They gave him the record for it because they recognized him, because it was brought to them commercially based on his live efforts. So you can't call Billy Mitchell a fraud because it's not his fault. He did it. He was in the right place at the right time, and he's recognized for it. All that can be said about this guy and the other probably 5 or 6 other guys that probably got the perfect Pac-Man score perhaps before Billy Mitchell is that here are other people who got it as well. But to try to take away from Billy Mitchell and to try to demonize him as he's some type of fraud, as if he went out purposely and said, hey, I'm going to steal this record away and I'm going to lie that I'm the first guy. Stop it, guys. Like, for real, just stop it, man. You find other people who've done other world records and other things that are that are at the legends levels. Just bring it to light and award those people and recognize those people for their accomplishments. But don't try to use it to take away from somebody else. And with that, this is Triforce's little short segment on that whole thing. Signing off. I'll see you guys later.